Hi everyone. I thought I'd hop on and just share a few of my thoughts in terms of how the energy has been changing. And for those who of you have realized that we have reached the spring equinox, which we're going into in the southern hemisphere, as well as the winter equinox as well in the northern hemisphere. We're all going into those changes right now. That's the obvious, most um, visible thing that you can feel around you. What I do want to share with you, though, are just a few of my thoughts, a little bit of ramblings here and there, in relation to what you are seeing and experiencing around you. The physical things that we are seeing and we are experiencing, most of it is also related to political changes, sociological political changes. And these elements are deliberately designed according to how the system operates to produce or to announce a new plan, or another part of the plan. And these political changes are relevant with regards to the changes in the governance systems. The people in the governments itself are being shown up as weak or breaking down or as falling to pieces, etc., however dramatic it is. The focus that you're needing to look at is that it is still part of the plan. These collapsing elements that you're seeing in the solar pillar beliefs, and those are the Masonic and external governmental bodies, are meant to collapse. But in its collapse, you're seeing the lunar pillar trying to override the solar pillar. With the lunar pillar is relevant to temples, things that are internal, underground, elements such as basement beliefs, basement level beliefs. If I say basement, I'm saying things that are underground, things that are invisible in the to the naked eye, but things that are underneath. I'm speaking about information that comes out from underneath, from underground, excavations and such as the case may be. And again, that is also part of the plan. And this plan that I'm referring to is only the plan or the program that the system was given to announce, to bring into this reality, so that everyone who is affected by it and playing in it is now having to readjust and see where they fit in and how they fit in, and if they do want to fit in, and if you want to revoke your beliefs in the system itself by being part of the subjection and so on. Yes, it's true that it's also going to influence how the third pillar, which is what I feel is very important for us to focus on, the center point, that which is within ourselves, where we are specifically more connected to within, where we are as spirit, as great spirit in plural, individually within ourselves, are speaking now in out from within our souls. So spirit speaks at all times, as the higher self is the human word for it, but the spirit speaks through the center to be in control and to balance both sides, the solar and the lunar within ourselves. So everything that you're experiencing in the physical reality is always going to be a multidimensional reflection of what you are experiencing within yourself. So if you're feeling a little bit all over the place, you're feeling like you're going through some detox, and you feel like you are almost to a point wanting to step off from a foundation that you felt you're ready to break free from, I would say that you are definitely entering the eye of the needle. As for those who have been on this channel have seen that the eye of the needle was a very important thing that we have been discussing for a long time. So in other words, we've been preparing for this period of time, way ahead of time. And for those who have understood what it means to journey through the eye of the needle, which we are going through right now, it would mean that the proverbial story about it is the camel can go, only if the camel can pass through the eye of the needle, which means you would need to let go of associative beliefs in terms of elements around you. I'm talking about the subjective belief that elements around you have within yourself. If you are wanting to be in control and you would like to experience a new reality, you must be able to visualize this reality inside of yourself. And the way to do this is by literally, like I've suggested before, write down on a piece of paper what you would like to see for yourself in your own life, personally. Where do you want to see yourself? What do you want to do? Create your own vision board. And vision board is such an archaic term for visualizing, but I would suggest you'd actually read what you've written and then build it into your consciousness so that it stays there. We are essentially meant to gather information. That is our role. That is why Great Spirit is expanding in such a rapid way, that there's more of the points of light, or light as in frequency, more points of light that are gathering to connect a more whole embodiment of Great Spirit itself. If you're unfamiliar with why I'm talking about Great Spirit and Great Spirit here and Great Spirit, please go through the other videos and you'll see where I'm talking about it. I will always bring in that information here and there. Now, the next thing that I wanted to bring in, which I interrupted myself with, was to explain that we are going to experience, perhaps even already, but I'd like to say or introduce to you a little bit of something a little bit more direct. So the occult ministry, Ministry of Magic, I'm calling them that, which are the people or the beings that give the plan power to exist in media, etc., etc., etc. The pharmakia, if you can read between the lines here, requires an energy to build in to this reality, an aeon. Okay, an aeon is an egregor, or an elemental being that requires belief, blood sacrifice, rituals, you name it, energy, so that that spirit can be formulated inside a body. And whether this body is going to be a physical body or it's going to be an artificial body, it doesn't matter. The fact is they are really asking very hard. They're doing a lot of things to try and bring in that energy to come into that thing that they want, that idol that they want to bring into this reality or herald into this reality. That is what they want to do. The Ministry of Magic is in control of two paths: the sun and the moon, the solar and the lunar pillars, the first creation and the second creation. I hope this makes sense. That is what they want to do. So they are wanting to have the power from the third pillar, or the star path, or the heart path, whatever you want to call it. That which is in the middle, which is the center of the balance between the two poles, which you are in control of at all times within your thoughts. You decide how you feel about yourself. If today you feel a bit covert, you're leaning towards the lunar pillar. If you're feeling a bit more extreme and excessive, and you want to be more bold, and you're doing it, obviously, if you do these things at the cost of others, is why I'm saying that, okay? Because sometimes it may not be understood as clearly as that. Then you lean toward the solar pillar, or the solar temple as such. So in other words, you can become Illuminati or Masonic, to put it like that, which is actually such a bad example, but it just gives you, what I'm trying to say is, you need to be in control of you. Don't become involved in what you're seeing around you. Look at it, observe it, become multidimensional when you explore everything, but be mindful that everything that you're experiencing also is in relation to your own personal perception. What is happening is we are changing, we are moving forward, we are going towards a new reality, because we are creating a new reality. This is not to do with a new age or a new world order or any of those man-made terminologies, which are very much egregoric in itself. And when I say egregor, it means it's something that is inanimate, that has a physical presence to it to make it become alive. In other words, automaton, robots, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So the new reality, he is young. It is newly birthing itself into this reality. And therefore you have to be very, very careful to look after the process of how this energy comes into this reality. So in other words, don't just look at today, look at the path ahead. Don't just look at what can we do now to get everything done now, and yes, we've done it, we've won the party, this party's won. Look ahead, and see the path ahead, like you would do with your child. If you had a child, that you would see for the child ahead, you would envision a path for this child. And the same thing that you would need to do within yourself now. So I'm giving you a lot of information to think about. I would suggest you listen to this again. There is a lot of information that needs to be addressed. I'm not going into too much detail about everything. It might be something foreign to you, it might be something familiar to you. It is entirely up to you how you perceive it to be. So what I do want to suggest to you is to take note that because the other side wants to bring in their their element of belief, their God, okay, it would require many deaths. It would require much energy to focus on it. It would require a great deal of confusion and conflict in everything that you're seeing. In other words, media will amp up their play, their role play. Remember, the circus always needs an audience, okay? The circus can only perform the trick to its best capability if it has enough visual feeding into that system, into that focus of that play that you're looking at, that show. So that is what they want to do. I've been pondering about how to explain this, because I've had it as it has been given to me to look into becoming very much more aware of to the fact that they might try to use, or they could try to use our energies to feed their entity that they're wanting to bring in, which is their proverbial antichrist element, which is again duality, which I don't want to ever give a name, so I'd rather call it an idol or an egregor. So they want to use the coming of these two equinoxes that we're going into as a ritual period. Okay, so eyes open, be mindful how you feed the beast, so to speak, and do not lose track of the child that you are nurturing within yourself. The child is the reality that we are busy creating. Two realities: first creation, second creation, lunar, solar. Okay. The third reality is the third creation, which is what we've decided to bring into place. It's going to take time. It's not going to just happen like that. It's not linear. It is multidimensional. It means it takes a lot of energy to expand and create all the information into that reality. So it's going to take time. It's not going to be one shot, boom, we've done it. Nothing is ever that set in stone either. So as we speak, as we think, as we feel, as we connect within ourselves, I want to suggest that you focus within you at all times. Let you communicate with your higher self, with Great Spirit. Communicate with Great Spirit within, and allow Great Spirit to communicate with your soul. Bridge that part. Connect into the heart. Explore the feelings of love. Explore the feelings of love for yourself, for who you are, and never at the cost of another, otherwise that would then become vanity. So I'm leaving this with you guys. Stay tuned to some more information, and thank you so much for supporting me. Much love. Bye.